Alright, so welcome everyone to this lesson. Here we're going to talk about the scene file and scene setup as I always make and happy to discuss with you before we get start with our lessons. It's very important to know about that, the scene element and the presence of the objects which we're going to take care of that in the scene. So let me just first of all going to introduce you with this the magical ball, what I'm going to say. And this is fairly going to be a high polygon object, and just because of the reason is very high poly, we will not going to use that inside the simulations. So if we're not going to use this inside the simulation, what else we're going to use? Of course, we're going to create a proxy object, which is basically the replica, or more or less that we're going to match up with the silhouette part of this ball. So first of all, let me just open up with the outliner and I'm going to show you up what exactly we do have in our outliner. Well, we have a node which is the scene element, which is going to create all those elements inside our scene. And then I have another very important node that is called as a low underscore ball GP, which is a group. Now this node is basically containing the important fluid container as well as the important fluid emitter and as well as the low polygon proxy geometry that are going to use where the fluid will going to collide. Okay, so let me just open up with this node and we can see we have something called low, and if we're going to press the shift H, which is an unhide key, you can see here this is basically going to be my low polygon object. Now as you know guys, the effects of the particles, fluids, dynamics, the visual effects is really going to be computational at times. Of course, it's also going to depend upon what exactly you are carrying inside your scene. But just to avoid the 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 non-necessary computational steps, we're going to adapt the fundamental of a proxy geometry. I also do understand that this proxy geometry is more or less looking like a sort of a high polygon object, but if you're going to compare the stuff with this one, it generally do have a less polygon. And one reason why I just apply the smooth or the turbo smoother, you can say, the smooth modifier inside this object, just why? Because the silhouette of this low polygon object needs to match up with that. So let me just gonna put the 0 to the translate z-axis, and here we can see that almost it has encapsulated the surface of the high polygon object. Of course, you can figure it out that there are certain sections that are left uncovered, but I just, you know, I don't think so that they're gonna give us any trouble. However, if you really wish to do that thing, obviously you can also replicate those things with a very simple fundamental. You can just gonna create the tube over here and can match those things with the setting, of course, and of course you can serve the job. But I don't think so, you guys. I really feel the need to do that because my low polygon object is almost, taking care of the things. So let me just first discuss with you. Now, I don't think so that we really need this right this moment. So I'm just gonna put that to the height. Okay. So in this scene setup, we do have a very simple plane that I've just given with a simple fair texture to support my lighting and the rendering. And this is basically a very simple ball that just I've created to support, a sort of a magical ball that are going to release or pop out the dry ice. And if you're going to open up the scene elements, you can see that there's something called the light key, which is somewhere around here. Just to support some good lighting, for that I have used this light, and I also going to take care of this light inside the fluids. But of course we're going to talk about this when we do take care of the rendering part. And of course we have also created this doom so that can help us in you know uh, providing some more better reflections uh, on this magical ball. This process also I'm gonna discuss with you when we're gonna come for the rendering purpose. I also gonna share with the important attributes of this ball, and I have used the MIA material for that. Okay. Now inside the highball, I wish you don't need to open that because it's already gonna have a lot of polygon geometries. So if you want, I recommend you do not open this up. Okay. And of course, with that, we also do have some rim light setup. I think so it would be good if I can take them just outside this thing, because I just don't want them to be inside here. So let me just select the rim light and just bring that out. Okay, I guess. All right, sorry, just bring them out. Okay, so these two rim lights, why just I have created up. There is important reason for that, because I just want this ball to get completely separated from the dark background, since I want to highlight my dry eyes, like you have already recalled from the video that I show you in the previous lesson. Okay, so we're going to discuss about these lighting setup and all, so just don't need to worry for that. And I guess so, guys, we have fairly, discussed about the scene elements and all. There's nothing that you need to know for this file, and I think so. This is the final file that I have created, and you all are good to use it for your rendering purposes. Okay, so in the next lesson, I'm gonna talk about the process of creating the low polygon geometry object, because that's really going to be very important, and trust me, that's really very simple steps we have to follow for that. Okay, so see you in the next lesson.